Welcome everybody. Son las 6:10. It is 10 till 6 in the morning. Sporting another one of my Rocky shirts. So today's reading, daily reading 28, DR 28. I had initially said I was going to do 30 of these videos, and if it caught steam, then I'd continue doing it. And to be honest, the steam that I have seen through the feedback and comments is enough for me to continue doing it. So I'm definitely going to keep doing this each morning. DR 28. So you're saying there's a chance. And if you don't get that reference, you're probably younger than me. You're probably younger than 35. But that is a reference to Dumb and Dumber. Good old Lloyd Christmas. So you're saying there's a chance when he's trying to date Mary Swanson. But the chapter starts out today talking about Tommy John. And if you've ever heard of the name Tommy John, it's probably because you've heard of Tommy John surgery. I didn't know, I kind of knew what it was, but prior to reading today's chapter, it was nothing more than just a term that I would hear. But Tommy John was a guy that, and throughout the chapter and the reasoning for the title of this video, is a guy who saw an opportunity, who looked for an opportunity in every single thing he did. And that's what enabled his career to be so long and enabled him to come back from an elbow surgery that prior to him coming back had eliminated, he was a pitcher in the major leagues, had ended careers. He fought through it. He saw an opportunity. He saw a chance, and for that, he went on to like 15 or 20 more years in the major leagues and has a surgery named after him. So the message take away from Tommy John: look for an opportunity. Look for a chance every time you can. And the chapter touches on another concept that when I speak or when I mentor, I always bring up these two things. There are two things in our lives. There are those things we can control, and there's those things that we cannot control. I call them controllables and non-controllables. And as we go through each day, whether it's a teacher who doesn't like you, whether it's a boss who might not treat you right, those are things that you cannot control. What you can control is the way you react to those situations. You can control your preparation. You can control your habits. You can control the people that you spend time with. So as you go on through the day, focus on the controllables and let go of the non-controllables, because the non-controllables are just that. They're non-controllable. You cannot change them no matter what. It's raining outside and you have a game, you're not going to change it. You're going to an auditorium and the sound is bad, the lighting is bad, you're not going to change that situation. Focus on the controllables. Forget the non-controllables. And another really awesome thing, it talks about living in the present. And it brings in that idea of perception that we talked about yesterday. So we have this idea of perception. Perception versus observation. Perception is when you look at a situation and instead of focusing on what it is, we add us into the equation. You know, we have a situation, but then we add our preconceptions, our plans, what we think should happen or might happen in the future, or how it will affect something. That's perception. That's putting us into the equation. And the idea of today's chapter was living in the present, focusing on the now, letting go of your preconceptions and just taking what is for what is. And one of the quotes or the sentences from this chapter say the important thing to know is that right now is right now. And that's all that matters. And it goes on to say, remember that this moment is not your life, but it is a moment in your life. So take it for what it is, use it, and adapt to it. The title of this book, The Obstacle is the Way, the theme of every chapter so far is just that. Live in the moment, take it for what it is, and add less of you into the equation. Add less of your extra stuff into the equation. And the last thing I want to touch on, and this rings true for me in a big way, but it pertains to listening to what other people say. Now, I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it carefully, especially if you're a young viewer. It's extremely important. But even if you're an older viewer, if you're a professional, if you're in the workplace today, tomorrow, if you're running your household, is the idea of not, I don't want to say not listening to what others say, but keeping what other people say and other people tell you in its proper place. When I decided to leave my Spanish position, my teaching position, I was told by everyone that I was crazy. that I mean, I even heard that it was the dumbest thing you could do. How are you leaving a steady paycheck and a full-time job and health insurance to pursue this thing that you don't even know about? And I'm not going to say that on the outside it didn't look like that. But for me, what I felt trumped what anyone else would say to me. Now, the reason I say be careful about that, and the reason that I want to caveat that, is I had a proper foundation. I had a proper team around me to keep me in check. So it wasn't like I was saying to my mom, no, I don't care what you say, Mom. Dad, I don't care what you say. Brother, I don't care. No, I had those people in place who instilled in me, hey, if this is what you want to do, this is how we, essentially your advisors, your team, feel you should go about it, or feel going about it this way will help you. So I listened to those people. I listened to those closest to me and discarded what the other people said. And the theme of this chapter is to do just that. Don't, the world is there to bring you down, and that's a harsh reality. Social media, while I'm hopefully using it in a positive way, oftentimes creates opportunity to bring you down, to bring us down. The news, to bring us down, to point out everything that is wrong. And this chapter really focuses on looking for what's right and not banking on what other people say. Create that team around you. Create those few people around you who you really confide in, who you really trust, and who you really feel like if they're telling me it's wrong, then it's probably wrong and I need to start thinking a different way. I know for me, I have that. I talk often to my parents, you know, they'll be the first to, my mom doesn't care how big I ever get, how many fights I ever win, she'll be there to put me in check and put me in my place. And it's really important, the one side of it, don't listen to what they say. The other side of it, make sure you have those special people in your life who you do trust. They're almost like your buffer to keep you on track. So I hope you enjoyed Daily Reading 28. So you're saying there's a chance. Look for the opportunity in everything. If you're enjoying this, please pass it on, share it with your friends, retweet, however you see fit. The more people this message can reach, the better. And as always, check me out, check us out at A Fighter's Mindset, the Spaniard Podcast, on iTunes, Stitcher, you name it. Thanks for watching.